Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a class centered around the lower body. So if you're feeling some stiffness, maybe you've been to the gym, maybe you've been at a desk, or maybe you've just been a bit sedentary lately and you want to get in a little bit of movement, this is definitely for you. We'll take it nice and slow. So if you want to come to the back of your mat, you can just take a seat onto your heels here. We're going to start the class in a wide-legged child's pose. So take those knees out as wide as is possible towards the edge of the mat, keeping those toes touching together. We're going to walk our hands out towards the top of the mat and slowly lower your forehead towards the mat. Please feel free to use a cushion or a block here to rest your head on. You can let your elbows rest on the mat and just let those hips settle in. I want you to take some deep belly breaths here. Really feel the belly expand and contract. Take one more breath here. And slowly start to lift your head off of the mat or off the block or the cushion and walk those hands back in towards you, slowly lifting back to an upright position. From here, I want you to make your way down onto your back, and we're going to do some reclined poses for our lower body. Once you're here, you can straighten out that left leg, bring that right knee in towards the chest, and when you're ready, take that right knee across the body towards the left, just letting it rest here. Take that right hand, spread it out long beside you. This is our spinal twist. So just warming up into the lower back area. You will also feel a stretch in that right hip as well. And just maintaining that nice steady breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Take that right knee back into the center here and bend into that left knee, placing the left foot onto the mat. We're going to go for a hamstring stretch for our right leg here. So I want you to point those toes towards the ceiling, straighten out the leg as much as you can. Take the hands behind the leg, take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, pull that leg in towards you as much as you can. Again, totally fine to have a bend in the knee here. You will still feel a nice stretch on that hamstring, which is what our aim is. You might want to add a point of the toe, followed by a flex of the toes towards the shin. It's getting into that ankle a little bit there. And just take one more breath here. And start to bend into that right knee even more. I want you to take that right foot, place it over the top of the left leg and push that right knee away for you. We're coming into our reclined pigeon pose, also called figure 4 pose. So this is variation 1. Feel free to stay here. If you want to intensify the stretch a little bit more, start to lift that left foot off of the mat, bringing that left knee in towards your chest. You can clasp those hands behind the left leg and gently rock side to side. This is quite a deep stretch for that right hip. Always listen to your body. Do not go past your edge. Don't want to have any injuries. And when you're ready, you can bring both feet back to the mat there. From here, I want you to straighten out your right leg this time. Take that left knee this time in towards your chest. Take that left knee, bring it across the body towards the right, and that left arm can stretch out long beside you. Our spinal twist on the other side. Take one more breath here. When you're ready, bring that left knee back in towards the center. Bend into the right knee, place that right foot onto the mat. Point those left toes towards the ceiling. Take the hands behind the leg. Take a deep inhale. On the exhale, bring that leg a little bit closer. Point and flex those toes. From here, bend into that left knee, take that left foot, place it over the top of the right leg, pushing that left knee away. Your figure four position. If you did option 2 on the other side, start to lift that right foot off of the mat, bringing that right knee in towards the chest. Clasp those hands behind the back of the right leg. Add a sway side to side. And from here, gently place those both feet back onto the mat. So we're going to make our way into tabletop position now. So I'm just going to get some momentum and spring myself up, but you get there however is best for you. So we're coming tabletop position onto our hands and knees. So shoulders stacked over wrists, hips stacked over knees. I want you to take those right toes and send them towards the back of the mat, gently rocking back and forth. Just feeling that stretch on the calf muscle. Find some stillness here in your tabletop position. I want you to take that right foot off of the mat and just hover it here. Bend into that right knee, and we're going to go for some hip circles. So start drawing some circles with that right knee, keeping the rest of the body as still as possible. Easier said than done. And change direction. It's really warming up the hip joint here. You might hear a few clicks. And when you're ready, place that knee back onto the mat. Let's do the other side. Take those left toes towards the back of the mat. Start to rock back and forth. And when you're ready, find stillness. Lift that left foot off of the mat. Bend into that left knee. Let's go for those hip circles. Drawing those circles with your knee as wide as is possible for you without moving the rest of your body too much. Change direction. And when you're done, place that left knee towards the mat. We're going to come into our first down dog. So shift those hands an inch or so forward, keeping the fingertips spread nice and wide. Tuck those toes behind you. Press into the mat. Start to lift the knees off of the mat, sending the hips up and back and sending those heels in the general direction of the mat. Start to pedal it out here. Again, getting into those calves. They should be nice and warmed up by now. And then find some stillness in your down dog, keeping those hips nice and high. Totally fine to have a bend in the knee here. We're going to lean our weight into our left foot. Take that right foot, point it up towards the sky, bend into that right knee. This is our three-legged dog, keeping that hip nice and open. Start to shift forward, take that right foot and place it on the outside of that right hand. You might want to swivel that left foot back a little bit. We're into our lizard pose here. Might be nice again to rock back and forth. Maybe taking some circular motions one way and circular motions the other way. I want you to lift that right hand off of the mat, heel toe that right foot in towards the center. We're coming into our runner's lunge here. Might feel good to come up onto your fingertips. I want you to lean forward into that runner's lunge, and from here send the hips back, straighten out that front leg as much as possible, coming into our pyramid shape. So inhale forward into your runner's lunge once more. Exhale back to your pyramid shape. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And one more like that. And once you're back into your runner's lunge, your palms can come to the mat. Lean the weight into that right foot and spring the left foot back up towards the top of the mat. From here, you can fold forward, letting that head hang heavy. Slowly bend into the knees, start to roll up, slowly towards a standing position. Roll the shoulders. And just take a moment here in your mountain pose, shining those palms forward. Maybe play around with closing your eyes. And just take a moment to catch your breath. If your eyes were closed, open them now. Sweep those hands up above the head, palms facing each other. Hinge at the hips as you dive forward. Bring those hands to the shins. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale, fold forward once more. Bend the knees, place the palms onto the mat. Step one foot back, followed by the other. Coming back into your down dog. So keeping the hips nice and high. Pedal out the feet. Find some stillness in your down dog. Lean the weight this time into your right foot, sending that left foot up towards the sky. Bend into that left knee. Three-legged dog. Start to shift forward. Take that left foot to the outside of the left hand. And start to rock back and forward in your lizard pose. Taking those circles one way and another way. Find some stillness. Take that left hand off of the mat. Heel toe that left foot into the center. Coming into your runner's lunge. Come up onto your fingertips. Inhale forward. Exhale, straighten that front leg. Back into your pyramid pose. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. One more like that. And when you're back in your runner's lunge, spring that back foot up towards the top of the mat. Drape forward. Let the head hang heavy. Bend into the knees. Slowly start to peel yourself back up to standing. Shrug the shoulders. Take a moment. When you're ready, inhale those arms up above the head. Hinge at the hips. Exhale as you dive forward. Hands to shins. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale, dive forward once more. Bend the knees. Place the palms to the mat. Step one foot back, quickly followed by the left. Pedal it out. And bring those knees towards the mat. We're just going to come onto our backs once more, just so we can start to wind things down a little bit. Once you're here on your mat, laying on your back, bring both knees in towards your chest. Hands can come on top of the knees. Just gently rock side to side, just massaging that lower back. We're going to make our way into Happy Baby now. So there's a few variations of this. You can place your hands on your knees if they weren't already there. Take the knees out as wide as is possible for you. This might feel just the ticket. And if you want to stay here, that's absolutely fine. You might want to wrap your arms around the back of your legs, just letting the knees fall out slightly wider. And if you want to intensify this stretch a little bit more, shine the soles of your feet towards the sky and let your hands grab the outer blade of each foot, using those elbows just to push the knees a little bit wider. Always very nice to rock side to side in Happy Baby, which can feel very restorative for some people. Always trying to keep that lower back on the mat as well. Just take 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready, just bring those knees back in together and place both feet back on the mat. Just come onto your side into a fetal position just for one moment. Placing your hand over your heart space. Just giving yourself some gratitude for taking the time to practice today. When you're ready, trying to keep your eyes closed, just make your way back up very slowly into a seated position. I'm going to go for cross-legged. Your favorite seated position might look different. And once you're there, just give the shoulders one final shrug, bringing those hands together. Let's go for one cleansing breath before we close our practice. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed the class. I will link to some of my other classes here on the screen. If you like, please like the video. And if you want to get more yoga classes or some more vlogs on what's going on in my life, please hit the subscribe button.